Hello, hashtag #ArtfulAspie, my art and my Asperger's. Everyday surrounding sensory issues for the Aspergian in a noisy, careless world. Please subscribe and like to help my channel grow. I am hoping to help others aging on the autism spectrum. As much as we would like, and unless you are wealthy, the world with all its noises, smells and sensory overload will invade your space bubble. There are several senses. The main ones are sight, smell, touch, taste. Hearing by the vestibular system explains the perception of our body in relation to gravity, movement and balance. Proprioception is the sense of the relative position of neighbouring parts of the body and strength of effort being employed in movement. For example, being able to write with a pencil and apply with correct pressure and navigate through a narrow space. I have appalling handwriting. For people with autism spectrum disorder, there will be different things that will bother us. I know of some who don't mind loud music, or who are less bothered by crowds. During past business or escape trips, I tended to find the quiet places in the city. I was never one for taking holidays for pleasure. It is a concept I have problems with. This is Melbourne's Botanical Garden, which is close to the city, and I found a respite from traffic and crowds. I admit I am not the most social person, as there has been too much abuse in my life. I was beaten too much and hard as a child, bullied and molested as a young adult, eventually ending up in hospital to recover from a knife attack which has left major scarring. Noisy neighbours really disturb me, especially the drinking, smoking and probably drug taking type. These people have little control and it is easy to record their noise in my home. Some people talk loudly, but please don't tell me they can't help it. Some people are rude. They will do it until trouble is caused. The police will only act unless there is a threat of violence. My mother nagged and swore. My father was narrow-minded and I was berated because it upset me. I hated my parents. My father died early from too much alcohol and cigarettes. My mother had schizophrenia with paranoid delusions. She was not a good person for me to be around. She used people, and some people may like that. I do not. Loud, noisy people also upset me as they can trigger my post-traumatic stress disorder because they are associated in my mind with physical and psychological violence and attacks. Many comorbidities accompany Asperger's. Bossy types do my head in. I am not a fan of pushy, self-opinionated loudmouths, especially the kissy smiley ones, because they reek of insincerity. I have been very offended by some who have expressed their delight in my discomfort. However, the sounds of nature do not bother me, even the violent ones I experience living in the tropics like sudden storms and cyclones, because it is natural. Repetitive sounds like dripping taps, clicking fans or whistling drives me into fruitcake land. Noisy children are seldom delightful, especially when well-behaved youngsters learn through responsible adults consideration for their neighbours. Then there are the irritating people who use excessive horn use, which is illegal, or have loud engines due to poor maintenance, another prosecutable offence, older lawnmowers with non-existent mufflers, or the hateful lawn blowers. Just say noise. Planes, trains and passing buses do not bother me, as I am prepared for their sound and I appreciate the jobs they are doing. While as much as I love dogs, I cannot stand uncontrolled barking hounds that may wake me up from a fitful sleep. My sense of space is aggravated by sudden grabs by people, which will get you a nasty reaction and a glare that cracks concrete. Uncomfortable fabrics make me sweat, adding to an already scratchy experience. Many times I have faced major surgeries feeling very anxious and I lose weight very quickly with a hospital stay. Partly because of the unwelcome touches, some overbearing staff, intrusive noises and inedible food. My last stay in December 2019 for kidney surgery. Some foods may well be poisonous considering the reaction I have to them. Hot spicy food may be great for Klingons and Thais but are fatal for me. The smell of beer brings on an instant headache. Red wine makes my brain bleed. Sometimes I can be very confused by a mixture of noise, unexplained demands and sudden movements, especially if flashing computer or television screens are in play. It is impossible for me to go to big cinemas without a lot of discomfort. I'd rather wait until the DVD comes out or read a book. Smell is a tricky territory for me. I like the burning of incense, especially sandalwood, and those well-made Indian sticks of different aromas. Floral perfumes are very peaceful, but freshly mown grass sets off a histamine reaction. Meanwhile, some face creams trigger bad memories of my abusive mother, and I dislike strong perfumes on public transport. The artificial smell mixed with body odour makes me nauseous. So these are examples of all the senses I must deal with. Some I have learnt to mask my reactions to. Some just are impossible for me to stand. I use sound cancelling earphones. I use different tinted glasses to counter bright or flickering lights. I take antihistamines to help with hay fever. I avoid restaurants, certain markets and ryegrasses. New clothes are always washed and are soft. Loud music is avoided for quieter trance or new age music. I have environmental distortions where I see the world in a hazy way. Objects blur, move and can disappear. It's like looking out of a window of a moving vehicle. Some people frighten me. I can have difficulty negotiating stairs and walls may suddenly quiver. Others misinterpret my difficulties with sustained attention, eye contact, clumsy motor coordination, my inability to interpret facial expressions and my poor social skills. These are only getting worse with age as the masks of a lifetime come off. Such is my experience of life. I prefer to live alone, not because I dislike people, but because I cannot live comfortably with the censoring invasion by others. Thank you for viewing. Please like, comment and share. Subscribe too. You will be supporting a regional Australian artist coping with Asperger's.